What is it when you're just one person who doesn't have any pull anywhere, who doesn't have any money? What can one person do to change things?
I'm a small business owner, so most of my time and all of my money is spent and has to be spent very wisely into taking care of my family and paying the bills. I had made the choice last year, especially now that I'm over the age to run for senator, to do one of two things. I can sit back and do nothing and watch the world go around, see where the country takes us, see how far of a hole we fall into, or I can stand up and try to make a change. I made the choice to stand up and make a change, and I made that choice uh, based on the reason that although I don't know a lot of people, a lot of people don't know me. It starts with one person talking to one person. Then now you got two people maybe talking to two people. Then you got two people talking to 10 people. Now you've got 10 people talking to 50 people, and it grows from there.
In your business dealings, you've said you've dealt with China and other offshore countries
Yep.
with the import and export.
Yep.
The trend has been to do a lot of offshore resourcing for different companies, and what I'm seeing now is that instead of just hiring them in as contract workers for offshore, they're actually moving operations over there so that they're employed by a U.S. company, even though they're offshore, which changes like the trade laws and that kind of thing, so they can uh, fall under a different umbrella. What are your views on offshore um, operations, and how do we get jobs back into the country?
I believe that to stay a world economic power and a superpower, we do have to have the ability to work with other countries. One of the main reasons for that is we have a capital gains tax that is so high nobody wants to take money to invest in some of these companies. And when they do, they're investing it overseas instead of in this country. The second thing is we've got the second highest corporate tax rate in the world. That we need to do away with. That really has to come down. We will never bring manufacturing back into this country. Well, it will create jobs for U.S. citizens, for Americans, for legal immigrants. There will never be a base system to where we can put something together to where we can sustain our own country until we get a lot of that manufacturing back in this country. I do believe that we need to drop our capital gains tax and our corporate tax to incentivize these companies and these corporations doing their manufacturing in this country. Until we do that, we're going to be in the same situation. It's going to be a very vicious cycle of people moving a lot of this stuff overseas. Right now, we decentivize them by taxing them, and then we incentivize them by giving them tax breaks for going overseas. What we should be doing is incentivizing them for bringing it back into this country and giving them tax breaks for building manufacturing plants, creating American jobs, bringing the wealth back into this country, bringing our unemployment rate back down to where it should be, and our gross domestic product back up to where it should be. And we're just not doing that. And a very good way of achieving that is bringing down our corporate tax and the capital gains tax.
I think it's pretty obvious Social Security is not sustainable. I'd like to hear what you think about the problem with Social Security and what solutions there are.
In the next 20 years, there's going to be no such thing as Social Security. The funds right now are drying up so fast that in 5 years from now, we're not going to have Social Security. There's a couple of problems with it. One of the first problems is as the federal government goes, they've implemented a system that was based on failure. Through that system, although the concept and the idea, I think, was probably a good concept and good idea at the time, there were fundamental principles that it wasn't based on and founded on. Another problem is a lot of the Social Security funds that are going into these accounts to support Social Security are being taken out and they're given to illegal immigrants who have not paid into the Social Security system. That is a huge, huge problem. As far as to say, do I know a direct way of fixing it? There could be a couple different ways of fixing it. One of the big things would be to stop taking Social Security funds and paying them out to illegal immigrants. That would be one way that would dramatically decrease the output of funds from the Social Security system. to say a very good way of fixing it, I believe that personal accountability would be one very, very good way of fixing it. Having federal accountability and transparency would definitely help in moving forward in progressing to get that fixed.